So you came home from school. Your parents said, "How was free-range school today?" You said, "The devil came and told us about ska music." And then he tried to sell us a vegetable book about a boy called John Gourdly. And they went, "We need to... We
gotta send this guy to the Adbusters camp.
Do you have a
He needs
fever?
a palate
What the fuck are you saying? We have to take our son to the hospital. This can't be real.
And Riley's dad is like, no, the devil does inform people about ska music. That's one of his tactics.
Well, he had something to show the class?
I need to show you guys something. So, how familiar are we with current pop girlies on this podcast? Can you name some?
Sabrina Carpenter.
The Charlie XCX Brat. The Brat.
Jojo Siwa.
Jojo Siwa, correct.
I remember the Brat Pack.
The espresso one.
That's Sabrina Carpenter. Very well done. Someone's got a woman in his life.
We love her, Sabrina Carpenter. She make a song for us. She call it the Espresso. Beautiful. We listen on the Formy Day.
See, it's not problematic when it's that good. I think. Like, it's that good.
Problematic Italian impression.
It's only problematic to impersonate people from Mediterranean countries in Australia. In Europe, it's fine.
If you impersonate people from Mediterranean countries in Australia, it's a different accent.
Yeah.
Would you fucking say to me, you dog, innit? Okay, you got a fucking problem, you that cunt, huh?
I've got a bit of the new show that's me talking about that Pope saying Frocciagene. Did you cover you
Yes.
heard this story?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And so
That's
I'm
one of
really-
the other pop girlies.
the pop
girly,
the new
excuse me.
Frocciagene. Oh man! And I just really get into it. Frocciagene. Hey, this linguine needs more Frocciagene, a little more calm, and I just enjoy it. But I don't know whether it's wrong.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's Italy.
You should never put the cream in traditional carbonara, only come
Not the cock.
from a young boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a papa used to
Well, I
make.
ask you one pop girly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dua Lipa.
All right.
I already said Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
also.
Okay.
That was
I
me.
said espresso. You said
Yeah,
Sabrina
you need to
Carpenter.
do your
I
own
said
song.
You piggybacked on my pop girl.
Kylie Minogue.
Okay.
She's still
All
cool.
right.
Yeah.
But who's the one? Who's the like lesbian one that everyone
Nancy
loves?
Sinatra.
Chaperone, Renee Rapp. Those are the two lesbian
That
ones.
one.
Chaperone.
Chaperone.
Okay, but who here, and be honest with me, has heard of a little girlie now called Tate McRae?
No.
Yes. What? Why and where?
Because she's Canadian.
That'll be why. Okay, good.
Okay,
Tate
so
McRae.
Tate McRae.
Okay.
Tate McRae
Is she Mormon?
is a pop girlie they're trying to make happen. She is
Sounds like
Canadian.
an SAS guy who'd be on trial for war crimes. he shot 14 Iraqi children in cold blood.
Both Tate McRae's do have an ear necklace.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
went
yeah.
with Cray Cray. He's insane.
So she got her start on. What? Okay, so Tate McRae got her start on So You Think You Can Dance, and she, unlike all of the pop girls you just said,
Yeah.
has an edge, an early 2000s edge, which is dance.
Ooh.
And so,
Well, she's like a pussycat doll.
yes, very much so. And so, if you look up the music video for "Greedy" by Tate McRae on YouTube, I would like for us all to collectively watch it because it is, honestly, most simultaneously the most low budget and the most Canadian thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
But boy, they had $20 Canadian and a dream. Let's go.
So that's
£10.
$16 in American money.
Okay, it's in a fucking ice hockey rink.
Oh shit! Bitches, our girl's on a Zamboni right now.
Right, so she's on a Zamboni in
And
an
she's
ice
trying to
hockey rink.
serve on a Zamboni.
That's very Canadian.
She loves Italy, is why she used the Zamboni. Traditional Italian method
Come
of
on, she's on a
transportation.
Zamboni.
So she's doing like sexy dancing.
But they've
in
got
a...
no budget. They're
ice
at a
rink.
hockey rink.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on.
Whoa, she's flexible.
Oh, well, I guess the teens have finished playing hockey. You can use it if you like.
There's not much more to this other than this, but the fact that she's serving on a Zamboni is...
Okay.
Sorry, I'll say the word serving on a
It's
Zamboni.
serving Zamboni.
Can we get one more serving on a Zamboni?
Get some Zamboni for the table, please. Yeah.
That's such a grime lyric, serving on a Zamboni.
This girl is serving on a Zamboni.
So
What is the
That's
song
right.
called?
Greedy by Tate
Greedy.
McRae.
Well, she's greedy. That's why she didn't want to spend the money on the music video.
I see.
That's why she just went to the local rink after the Pee Wee game had cleared out.
And I'm not here to slut shame, but it's not like the budget stretched on any clothing either.
Olga's
Yeah.
angling for a position with the JD Vance campaign.
Yeah.
This is gonna come out like really close to the. When this is recorded, he was just announced as the VP.
Yeah.
So I got my podcast crossed. I forgot this isn't the one where we talk about that.
But okay, so she's the whole music video is she's kind of swirling around in an ice hockey rink.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, yeah, but she's really sexy while she's doing it.
Yeah.
It's low budget and the choreo's there. It's just so beautifully Canadian.
Is the song about ice hockey? Or is she greedy?
No, she's just Canadian as she's feeling all the feelings.
She's eating poutine on the ice rink. If you really want to do a music video on an ice hockey rink, you should be fighting the backing dancers, like headbutting them. Like she's got two front teeth missing.
Hold on. I think you might have mined a little bit of an interesting vein here, which is if we could put together a Pop Girlies hockey team, which one would be the goon? Which one would have the job of like fighting and injuring the opposing players so that they get sent off?
Azalea Banks. she's got that dog in her. We know this.
I genuinely like a Canadian pop star, like sexy lady being sexy on a Zamboni in an ice hockey rink is like an SNL sketch from the 90s. Oh, this is what Canadians would have if they had a female pop star.
And then she's like pouring maple syrup on herself.
Yeah.
It's like when Michael Myers had just left. Michael Myers had just left SNL
to pursue his true passion of murdering people.
And when Mike Myers had just left, but he would come back on like in a very big Canadian outfit to like rapturous applause.
Well, now you're raising a much more interesting thing, which is Canadian Austin Powers.
Rouvier.
It's just Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yeah.
That exists already.
The Shagboni? I don't know. What does that
already? It's there's sort of too many different meanings.
Is there an argument for Crocodile Dundee being the Australian Austin Powers?
There is an argument, and the court will hear it now.
Unaccountably sexy, sort of in a kind of ridiculously stereotypical costume for the place.
Guess so. Barry McKenzie was Barry Humphries was in a movie called Barry McKenzie that was quite big a while ago, which is probably in a similar vein. Okay. But yes, Dundee's probably as big as it gets.
This is just the Anglosphere selling itself to America. Just like, hey, us too.
But it's because it's like for the Americans, it's like there's all these like ready-made fantasy realms where people who talk their language are sort of weird. It's like, hot, scary desert one. That's cool. Nice green hobbit one. Fun.
The hockey rink.
The hockey rink one. Hooray!
That's the thing. Canada doesn't have that because they consider us kind of goofy. There's no sexy Canadian.
Tate McRae tried.
But you're too nearby.
The thing is, every Canadian who becomes like a sort of presence in the American psyche turns into an American that you forget they're Canadian.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alanis Morissette.
Yep.
Avril Lavigne.
Yep.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
We want to send that one back.
Do you want to know something crazy? That Avril Lavigne, Canadian royalty, was married to two Canadian rockers, the lead singer of Sum 41 and the lead singer of Nickelback. That's crazy.
At the same time.
And they're Canadian comedy as well. So many Canadians.
Martin Short,
Jim Carrey, Leslie Nielsen. I didn't know Leslie Nielsen was Canadian.
Leslie Nielsen, Canadian. I'm pretty sure.
Catherine Ryan.
But she doesn't pretend. Well, no, she doesn't pretend to be an
serious,
American.
But you can call me
thinks she's
Shirley
American.
if necessary. That's okay. We all make mistakes.
I think Leslie Nielsen. Am I
Yeah, he's
crazy?
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
What a country.
Chris Elliott.
Who?
Chris Elliott.
Oh, yes.
Is he Canadian?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
This is our
There's
new
more.
podcast, Secretly Canadian.
Seth Rogen?
Can we do
yeah.
Can we do a thing that's 4 hours later?
But it is crazy. It is weird that in Canada it's just like it's like this kind of Great Depression level of migration. It's like, down south they need some jokes, eh? They're not very funny without us. They're just like hiking down
Geordie there.
That's the problem. Is Canada
go down to Los Angeles?
You remember when it was all fields in Canada?
Canada does make comedy like. Canadian comedians who stay in Canada doing Canadian stuff for Canadian TV, they're like flightless birds.
Yeah.
They could never survive.
So they wait
outside
for
of
Lake
Canada.
Ontario to freeze over, and they get on the Zamboni, and they go to America.
Yeah, they're sort of like in Brent Butts twerking on the Zamboni as it goes over. No, like the most popular Canadian comedy TV show, the most popular homegrown one, was called Corner Gas, and it's about a gas station in Saskatchewan that's worked at by a comedian called Brent Butt.
His real name.
It's
that
his real
I
name.
couldn't
It's his real
believe
name.
this.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Brent Butt.
Talking about nominative determinism at work. Like, you have to become a comedian if your name is Brent Butt.
What about Olga Cock?
Well, it's either a comedian or you have to collect rainwater.
That's right.
And then it's just sort of a kind of gentle comedy for the dying, essentially.
But then you had Schitt's Creek. That was huge.
Yeah, but then that was
yeah.
popular in America.
Those
and
guys
then,
as well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. But now that's a show that's popular
If
like
Brent
in
Butt
America
made
among
Schitt's
Americans.
Creek. What an advertising campaign that could have been. Starring Olga Cook.
Butt cock shits.
Now Butt's giving you the shits.
But why does this happen? Why can't America's a big place. Can they not find enough funny people?
Well, why is Margot Robbie an Australian Barbie?
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Yeah.
She's very good.
She is great.
She's a very cool unionist too. She's quite pro-worker. Isn't
What's happened to me fucking genitals, Cobber? I'm smooth down there.
cover? Isn't like David from a Canadian? Like there's some crazy.
Yeah.
And
he
Ted
is.
Cruz isn't Ted
Yeah,
Cruz?
they're all Canadian.
What?
No,
Ted Cruz. Oh yeah, 'cause Ted Cruz was born in Canada, but American parent.
right.
Well, the
okay,
same
yeah.
way that Boris Johnson was born in America.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
exactly.
it's Canadians are everywhere, but anytime unless there's a different accent, like here, you'd never know.
Yeah.
We blend right in.
Very sneaky.
You know, we look just like you.
We walk among you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we walk among you, eh? Pardon. Oh, pardon. I'm just walking among you.
Doing one of those crazy right-wing conspiracy theories, but for Canadians. Like, you know who really runs the banks? Canadians.
Oh, let's just decimate the American worker here. we're gonna import more compliant people from around the globe, eh?
The Canadians are in league with the Mexicans.
It's a pincer movement. So the Canadians provide all the funny people to America. The Aussies, you guys have given America Barbie
Check.
All the hot ones.
and Thor.
The various.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Wolverine,
yeah. All
Hugh
the hot
Jackman.
ones.
You're very
Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
Nicole
Has she been away for so long that she's not even yours anymore?
She's still claimed as our Nicole.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been a very long time.
She went over there to the US, but she still owes it out.
And Keith Urban as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dread.
Russell Crowe?
Very funny for a
No,
country
New
singer
Zealand.
to
Is he
be
New
called
Zealand?
Keith
Sorry.
Urban.
He's a
God.
Kiwi,
What? No,
bizarrely.
Keith Urban's not a country singer. He's an actor. You're thinking of Toby Keith.
No, Keith Urban is a singer.
Yeah.
Wait, who am I
Keith
thinking
Urban
of?
is Nicole
Carl
Kidman.
Urban. I'm thinking of
You're
Carl
thinking of Carl
Urban.
Urban.
Sorry,
Oh.
this is the 4 hours later of remembering celebrities. Look, when we went to go watch that music video, I opened up my YouTube recommendations and I saw that they were very stereotypical. In that on the top corner is and Pierre, you'll enjoy this. New rules, Emperor's Children, not Bill Maher. New rules, Emperor's Children versus Eldari, Warhammer 40k Battle Report. Number 1. Number 2, $390 menu, 3 Michelin stars, and a $12 million lawsuit. The best of California fine dining. By my
Which
favorite.
course is the $12 million lawsuit?
And can I just say that the third one, the thumbnail just says, "My wife gets defensive."
Probably because of the $12 million lawsuit.
Oh, it's a gameplay. I guess she
It's a
gets
gameplay
defensive
one.
because you keep gaming?
Well, one's about Chinese versus European siegecraft.
Oh,
Amazing.
brother.
Looking right at
Lord.
Pierre for
Yep.
that one as well. Yeah.
The
I'm going to be thinking about that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta send him the link?
I might
Yeah.
Google it. I might generally watch that.
The Americans love to import. You know, there's not much. Sorry, I'm going back to the
Oh,
first
yeah.
of conversation. I think because it's like there's a certain. I don't know. Like if you want a view from anywhere else in the world, you can't rely on an American to go out there and get it and bring it back. Like they need a.
But it's weird that it's actors because they go, no, we'll make you say what we want in our accent. But for some
Yeah, like
reason,
Florence Pugh does an
it's exotic.
American accent really well.
but it's not
Yeah.
exotic if they're pretending to be American. That's what makes it
Oh,
double
yeah,
weird.
That is crazy.
They're not going, oh, Thor's Australian, by the way. We think it's funny.
It is crazy that there's fewer British people than there are Americans, so it's crazy to import a British person to pretend to be American.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
This is why somewhere
Like they
like,
can't find any American. Doesn't make any sense.
Australia is so funny from an American perspective. So they're like, oh, there's this fucking country over in the middle of the Pacific, and they're all hillbillies. But also, the average hillbilly there has an understanding of world events and politics we would associate with a university professor.
Yeah. It's a highly educated, angry Cockney Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the comic commentators, your John Olivers, your Craig Ferguson, your James Cordens, they're reporting those to sort of your Trevor
James
Noah.
Corden,
Noah.
there are Brits everywhere. You know, our proud exports.
That makes more sense to me because they sort of have that thing
Trevor
of like,
Noah?
let's
Sorry.
get an outside at
Yeah.
Trevor Noah. They're going, let's get an outside perspective on our crazy country.
Crazy.
And that's popular everywhere, but it's the acting thing that's weird. Russell Crowe's Kiwi.
Mm.
Is it fair to say he's the Kiwi with the most Aussie energy?
Well, yes, he was claimed. There are lots of New Zealand things that Australians claim, like Crowded House and Russell Crowe. I mean, I think we've sort of waxed and waned with Russell over the years. He's
Talk about counting crows. Which one are we counting about?
Wait, Counting Crows is
No, I think they're American, are they? I
no
don't know.
Crowded House, not Counting
Crowded
Crows.
House.
No, I was just doing
Counting
Or
Crows is
identifying
American.
which
Sorry.
celebrities are from where.
Jesus Christ.
I interviewed Russell Crowe once for the radio.
What was he like?
He was insane. He had a pile. It was for the Superman movie. He had a pile of his 30-odd foot of grunt CDs.
Yeah.
And so you're going there to do this junket interview for Superman. He's like, hey, have a CD of my band that everyone knows and loves. So I was like, thank you, Russell.
Right.
He then proceeded to lay out his theory that his songs had predicted the things within his career. So when he threw the phone and everyone hated him, he's like, yeah, I had a song about that.
You had a song about throwing a phone?
I think it was like the
Was
world's
this more of like a Nostradamus thing where it's like,
very vague.
he's,
The world's most
I
hated
threw my
man.
voice at you, and he's like, the phone, that's the voice. There we go.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
calling
I
him
think
the
of the
Kiwi
songs-
Naomi Campbell.
Yeah, I think if the songs were exact predictions, we'd have heard about it.
He was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a phone at a PA. I'm gonna get very sort of angry. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a movie about a guy after I get really puffy who's in a truck and sort of yells at. He made a road.
We're gonna make a film called A Good Year. The reception will be mixed.
People. I will be lovingly remembered for Master and Commander more than Gladiator by 2024.
Yeah, true. That is weird.
They're pretty
He also
vague.
did that Pope's Exorcist movie where he just rode around Europe on a moped
Yeah, I want to see that.
doing exorcism.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
like Euro
And an
trip
Italian
for exorcism.
accent.
Yeah, come on,
Yours is
do
better than
Italian
his.
Russell Crowe. Let's go.
I will have my vengeance. In any flour for the next. You have put the cream in the carbonara. It's not right.
Authentic Gladiator, redubbed.
Go.
This
Thank you so
character in
much,
Gladiator
Tom.
is supposed to be from modern day Spain. So.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that
Okay,
feel
everyone.
good, Pierre? Did that feel good,
Felt
Pierre?
great.
Name is a
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Good.
radio.
I mean, that sort of does make
Are you
sense,
not entertained?
but that does kind of make
Maximum.
sense based on
Maximum?
when it's set in Roman history, right?
Oh yeah, it made a lot of sense.
Most of those like big army guys were from Spain or like Dacia.
Yeah, yeah.
Agree.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
right.
been drier.
North Africa.
Yeah. Well, much like North Africa.
So wait, what were some of the other predictions that he thought his songs had made?
Oh God.
What powers does Russell Crowe
9/11.
possess?
Yeah.
Well, 30 Odd Foot of Grunts is from 1992.
Oh,
That's his band name, 30 Odd Foot of Grunts.
30 odd foot of grunts. Is that like
Yeah, I
It's a
think
disgusting
very
name.
suggestive?
It's
Yeah.
a really disgusting name.
It's just a
Did they
huge.
just play
cock.
Glastonbury? Am I making
I
that
think it
up?
was actually he's doing long poos.
Russell Crowe
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
30 feet of grunts sounds like Jesus, man.
Russell Crowe on lead vocals.
Cable.
Dino Cochran on guitar.
Yep.
And Garth Adam on bass and Dave Kelly on drums. Who cares about it? It's got a
Garth
company.
Adam and Dave Kelly, two first names.
Yeah.
Both.
And Stephen Kerwan on trumpet. So they're a little ska influence for 30
I love
Odd Foot
that,
of
Olga.
Grunts.
That was like a football stat. You know, like when the commentators are like, they're like searching for something to say. Yeah. And they're like, if you add their two shirt numbers together.
If they win, they'll be happy. If they lose, they'll be sad.
Is it reassuring that someone as famous and successful as Russell Crowe is still annoyed that he's not also doing well in something else? Like, it's not enough to have been Gladiator. It's not enough to have been a Master and Commander. He's still like, oh, I gotta get the boys together. We gotta get the little trumpet trills right on our fucking.
Well, we all have a thing we wish we were, you know?
Well,
Like
that's why
yeah.
like John Mayer does comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I want to be John Mayer, and John Mayer wants to be me.
Yeah.
And that is the inherent tension of all art.
But it's very humanizing.
Yeah.
He's not content.
Yeah.
This
What do you
Hollywood
secretly
man.
want to be, Tom?
Yeah. Our band?
Yep.
You got some black and white checkered
sorry.
slip-ons
Sorry.
under the table there?
I'm sorry, you just gave me I just remembered something. Because you said ska band.
That's your
Okay.
activation phrase.
So I was trying to think, I was trying to think of other strange things from that period of my life where I was in free range school.
Oh, where they just let you do whatever you wanted?
Yeah.
They just scatter corn on the ground and let you have at
And-
it. Yeah.
There was a point at Riley's school where they just went, what if we left the smart kids alone? Would they still retain smartness, or would
Okay.
they go bad?
Yeah.
Was there a cage
Now-
school era
Now I'm
in
a
which
podcaster, so
Right, yeah.
Riley
Gone
was
too
kind
well.
of in the opposite of the Stanford prison experiment.
so you were free reign to do whatever the hell you want.
essentially. And I remembered this. It struck me in the
You
shower.
started a ska band?
It struck me in the shower earlier.
Oh no, the experiment's gone horribly wrong. What have we done?
All of the children are skanking like the dancing plague of Munster.
You're in the shower, and then suddenly Suggs from Madness is there with a trumpet, and you're like, no, no.
Shut it down. Euthanize for subjects.
I'm afraid for every zoo tone you see, you've got 10 you're not seeing.
The teacher's looking on I Am Become Death, Destroyer
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Worlds.
My
I
God.
become trumpet, destroyer of good music. I remember that he's sort of the teacher who had like a lot of latitude to just kind of do whatever because it was like Oz. You know how that show Oz on HBO, early Oz, HBO?
You're doing that thing when you're explaining a thing we don't know with another thing we definitely don't know.
It's Oz was a show about a prison where they were like, what if we did an experimental thing with the prison where it's like the prisoners get their own
Make
society
everyone
inside
Australian.
the prison.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they did like Pablo Escobar's prison.
Kind of, yeah. But it was an early HBO show, and the whole thing was peppered with like Wizard of Oz references. The school board
wonderful.
basically gave the teacher in charge of this program the latitude to do what he wanted.
Right.
And one of the things he did was he once turned over the class for a day to a kind of, and I don't remember this guy's name, but he was a man with like goat facial hair and like horns.
Hang on.
And he was into ska?
Wait. This is like in one of those stories where you go, right, it was the devil. Obviously, it's the devil. But early on, it's like, I'm just a businessman.
Yeah.
An offer to make you.
I'm just a normal school teacher
In a
here
red
to tell the
suit.
children about ska.
Yeah, and after the red suit and a red shirt and a
Who
red
will
tie.
challenge me to a fiddling contest?
So he brought in this guy who was like, I don't know, like a friend of, like trying to break into teaching or something. It was a friend of his. And he spent the entire
break into teaching like in fucking acting. Like, oh, I just can't get a job as a teacher. I'm just waiting tables and takes dead man's shoes.
It was a teaching open mic. It was pretty
Yeah,
people like
he's
this.
being held back by his
that's the-
goat face and horns.
I'm teaching alcoholics for free.
We've skipped over horns.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
we
he
have
had-
to return to
He
horns.
had like a triangle hair. He had a long pointy beard and then two pointy horns
He's
from
like
hair.
a Dilbert character. I'm doing a 5-minute teaching open spot between 2 lessons. I'm doing a quick 5 minutes on the Roman Empire.
What I remember is he took over for a day and he talked primarily about how ska was different from music we would have heard before.
That's for sure true.
And also his concept for a children's book
Right,
About
good. This guy's a real go-getter.
about like a vegetable boy called Johnny Gourdly.
What the fuck? What
Johnny
is this?
Gourdly.
Who's a gourd?
What do you mean, vegetable boy? The goat horns and the vegetable boy. You're mad.
What do you mean?
This is why you need structure in school.
That's such a comic book line. What do you mean, vegetable boy? There's a fire at the cabbage patch.
So you came home from school. Your parents said, how was free-range school today? You said, the devil came and told us about ska music, and then he tried to sell us a vegetable book about a boy called John Gourdly. And they went, we need to... do you
We've
have
got
a
to send this
fever?
guy to the Adbusters camp.
Do you have a
He needs
fever?
a palate
What the fuck are you saying? We have to take our son to the hospital. This can't be real.
And Riley's dad is like, no, the devil does inform people about ska music. That's one of his tactics.
I sold him my soul. Cool.
Yeah, he had horn hair and a pointy beard. And we know the devil's son that patronizes us.
No, you listen, it's a good Canadian school. You'll teach those boys about Bryan Adams and nothing else.
Yeah, and I don't remember.
You just Google Johnny Gourdly and nothing came up.
I wanted to see if he ever did anything with
Damn
it.
shame.
Was
like
the
Champagne the
school
Clown.
on the location of an indigenous like a graveyard?
Yeah, haunted.
So they typically did put them under schools in Canada. So that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, they put them under schools, like.
But after the school was built.
You'd be like,
yeah.
time to install the burial ground. How else are you gonna get the devil to come and advertise ska?
to these free-range weird kids. The normal kids, they don't get to find out about ska. That's a
Canadians,
privilege of
First
the weird
Nations
kids.
people's revenge on the white people of Canada was forcing ska upon them.
So to this day, I don't remember the guy's name. Obviously, I just remember it was one
The
of the
devil.
strangest.
It's something
Say
with
Nick-
Beelzebub.
He has many names.
I just remember I was, because after we spoke about free range school last time, I was like, what else happened in free range school? And that was just such a.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot to talk about the substitute
Johnny
teacher.
Gourdly.
And
Yes.
Johnny Gourdly. He was like, this is going to be great.
This
Kids
was
are
the
gonna
whole
love
day?
Yeah, the whole day, one day. Ska music and Johnny Gourdly.
What was
Who
the
is
plot of
Johnny Gourdly? I don't know. Johnny
Oh, that's
Gourdly.
the
So this
name
kid-
of
this
the
guy-
vegetable boy.
Vegetable boy.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
So this
No,
guy,
no.
he created a whole like universe of children's book characters in his mind,
Okay.
Right.
basically. And it was going to be all about a kid who was like a turnip or whatever.
Okay.
Like, and it was like,
Is
it
it
was like,
like
it was like atheist Veggie Tales.
You're
Wait,
right.
do you know
right.
Cipollina?
No.
I think it's Italian, but then we heard about it in Russia when we were growing up. Let me look up Cipollina because it's sounding like
Get
he's
the accent ready,
ripping
Marlo.
someone off.
In my
Oh God. Well, good. I'll have to. If you're watching this video now, devil substitute teacher, strange goat man.
This is Cipollina. That's Onion Boy.
Yeah, that's Onion Boy.
I like-
This is just.
Oh my God!
Cipollina.
For fuck's sake, that's Onion Boy.
So hang on.
Onion is too serious matter to be cartoon boy. Take this off television. It's un-Soviet.
Is this a thing across cultures that people have a talking vegetable
Yeah,
character?
VeggieTales is also.
VeggieTales was the
the Christian
Christian
one.
thing.
Yeah.
We didn't have it in the UK,
No.
as far as I know, any kind of vegetable base.
No, but Was there
Johnny
nothing-
Gourdly does have a good ring to it. So does
It's a
Cipollina.
It's a great name, Johnny Gourdly, and he'd better have been a gourd. If you're going to tell me
Well,
he was a
he was-
turnip, I'm annoyed.
In Britain, we were like, no, there will be no vegetable-based shows for the children. We've got this paedophile who wants to interview children
Yes, yeah.
about their fantasies.
Send-
That'll be on TV 7 nights a week.
Yeah, he's going to befriend
Or we'll have the mushy
Queen.
peas variety hour.
We were discussing British kids TV before the record.
Yes.
South African kids TV very similar to American kids TV in that couple of weird local things. The rest is just American.
And then we just piped him in. Yeah, you guys didn't have Captain Planets. That was
Yeah.
very big
Well,
for
you
us.
have Bluey now.
We gave the world Bluey.
Another Titanic export.
Apparently, the guy who makes Bluey is quite conservative and hated my show.
That's why it's blue.
Indeed.
Like the blue.
Well, it's promoting family values.
Yeah.
And yes, my show, we called a conservative a cunt on our show. And apparently, a friend of mine who worked on Bluey said that guy was absolutely outraged. and
Really?
Disgusted.
Hell yeah.
I let him down. There was also quite a big, I don't know if this made news, but there was an episode of Bluey in when like one of the characters was in the Middle East, was like at war, like an uncle
Right.
character was
Wait,
at war
what?
I saw this
writing
reference
letters.
online,
Like
He's
a
in-
dog uncle.
Yeah.
He's like sniffing out bombs in Iraq or
The
whatever.
way that like 9/11 happened in cars.
Yeah.
The Iraq War happened in Bluey.
Yeah.
Not that
9/11
the planes
cars?
were
Yeah,
the
because they have
hijackers.
TSA checks in planes, which is a sequel to Cars.
Yeah.
And TSA checks only started after 9/11.
So it's like a plane wearing the bandana, like.
Yeah, the
hang on,
plane
the
hijacked
plane-
itself.
In the universe of Bluey, did a lot of dogs die at Gallipoli?
Indeed. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, fighting Turkish dogs.
We'll all go woofing, Matilda.
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. So it's clearly in the middle. It just brings up so many questions. Like, yes, did the Iraq War happen? Yes. Was
Was
it a lie?
Saddam Hussein a dog?
Were there,
What-
were there
what
Bluey
would-
WMDs? Yeah.
What would have been thrown at George Bush?
Chocolate.
Like it wouldn't have been a shoe.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
No, no,
But that's deadly.
Yeah, no.
A shoe,
yeah.
not deadly, but it's supposed to be humiliating.
Yeah.
Maybe like a muzzle or a choke lead would
Yeah,
have been thrown
yeah.
at dog George
would a
Bush.
dog just fetch it though?
Oh yeah.
Well, the question is, what would Arab dogs have a social convention about, like not showing the bottom of or whatever it is? Is that specific? Yeah, that's where you get really into the reeds.
What about like a cone, like an illness cone? That you
Oh,
put
yeah,
on a
that's
dog?
fun.
Yeah, that'd be
You
good.
could have
Yeah.
like just
That's contemptuous.
whipped the
Yeah.
sort of illness cone at dog George Bush.
Dog
No.
George.
Never been said that
Woofs.
sentence. Absolutely never been said
The
before.
W stands for woof.
George Woof Bush.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's for sexy George Bush.
That's
Actually,
the only change.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
dogs and it's George
Woof
Bush.
Bush.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same.
Did they have a financial
that's right.
crisis?
Indeed. These are all the questions.
Could you reset like a margin call in the world of Bluey?
One particular scene shows Rusty's dad pictured in army fatigues whilst away on deployment, riding back to give Rusty some life lessons and a stern instruction to take care of his little sister. So yeah, he's away fighting in the dog wars and writing letters, which
Listen, if shit gets heavy, turn your fucking body come off, eh?
What? Is it a South African dog now?
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind
Wait,
of
so
close.
what-
It's
what,
hard to. I'm trying to channel that particular kind of Australian accent.
So in
but-
Bluey, is a dog tag just a tag?
Nice.
For fuck's sake, I needed one. I really needed one.
Yeah.
But it's difficult if you're
You've been
making.
saying stuff that's too smart.
Wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all like, whoa.
If you're making a kid show, it's tough, isn't it? Because you got to be like, oh, it needs to be relatable on the issues that the
Yes.
children might face. But I can't. Like, how far can you push that? Like,
There you go. There's a little thing. Yeah. Yes. Have fun. And then it was ironic because, of course, the right wing were like, "Don't be ridiculous. It's a cartoon about dogs. You fucking lefties, chill
Yeah.
out." And then, like in the Christmas special, there was a lesbian couple on Bluey, and they lost their fucking minds.
yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
It's either
Yeah.
about life or it's not.
Yeah.
You can't have one episode where
They were Zionist lesbians, so they covered everything.
That's
That cancels it. That's
how did
fine.
that come up in Bluey?
It's invention.
Fuck.
It's right.
Peppa Pig doesn't have like a cousin in the Troubles in Northern Ireland or something.
Yeah.
Bluey, bring the hostages home. Yeah.
Bandit country Peppa Pig. It's like a-
Daddy Pig, why have you got that orange sash on?
Well, today is a very important day. Because I'm proud of my lineage, Peppa.
And why are we building that big bonfire?
Whoa. Are we going to Derry? It's Londonderry, you little fuck.
Hey, Bluey. Peppa. Hey, Bluey, you look a different color than usual. I'm orangey now.
But like, was it in Boston or Chicago where for St. Patrick's Day they dyed the river orange?
Chicago.
Yeah, because they were like, well, that's also in the Irish flag. And I was like, no.
Yeah, like Ireland.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was in the Netherlands recently for some gigs, and the whole orange thing. In South Africa, the orange thing's associated with Afrikaners and like the Orange Republic and stuff. So sort of fighting the British Empire.
Well, it's the same origin, right? 'Cause
Well,
it's
that's
like
what's
William
weird.
of Orange, yeah.
So in South Africa, it's like an anti-British Afrikaner sort of color.
yeah.
In Northern Ireland, it's a pro-British color. And in the Netherlands, it's just about a guy on a bike. Who's apparently the king, whatever. But you just think he's cycling by a canal like everyone else. I can't really tell.
What you're suggesting is that like Dutch Protestantism has many facets.
Which is
There's nothing essential about it.
It means all things to all men. The color orange.
There's a facet of sort of Dutch-derived Protestantism for everyone.
Everyone gets to have a miserable guy in a small ruff.
I've read some of the lyrics for Russell Crowe and 30-odd Foot of Grunts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I maintain that it's a disgusting name for a band. I've really, really hate it.
It feels like something Russell Crowe would call... He grunts a lot in his films. Two of the songs...
I think it's about pooping.
Two of the songs I have read the lyrics for.
Sometimes makes the arse stick. Can't have a shit when it's really cold.
Are you not
It's
entertained?
like stuck halfway out.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Is there a song like...
I've killed Riley. It's happened finally.
Is there a song like The Most Hated Man in the World or something?
Well, two of them appear to be... I'll just read you the lyrics.
Okay.
Wow, it's a song about the average father.
Hold on to that thought.
No.
They're coming to take her away because a man in a wig said the sky is not blue. Drive on, Judas cart, taking my little girl away.
Oh, boy.
I'm told I'm not welcome in my own home by a woman who once drove away. Drive on, Judas cart, taking my little girl away.
This is very like William Blake
This is
energy.
So,
it's so like
it's
a
so
lot more
literal. 'Cause the man in the
divorce
wig
than
is the man in the wig's the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was with you.
It
There.
must be been
Oh, is it
another
Michael
life.
Fabricant?
Yeah,
Michael Fabricant is dating my wife, and he won't let me see my kids.
Yeah.
It must have been another life when I called her my wife. Can't remember any loving at all, but she left me and dumped me here some 7 years ago. Now I am legally bound and I'm morally appalled. Drive on, Judas cart, taking my little girl away.
Wow.
That's one. I've read two lyrics from this band, just two sets of lyrics. Here's the other one. This is from the song Things Have Got to Change by Russell Crowe and 30-Odd Foot of Grunts. Track 1 on the CD, Bastard Life.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
I know I've got to get out, gotta run away. Can't afford the maintenance, baby. So it's about child support.
But he can
This is
afford
just
the
about
maintenance.
divorce. It's exclusively about divorce.
Divorce
But there
themed
isn't enough
band.
music about
Wow.
that. They've really found a niche and a market.
Can't afford the maintenance, baby.
That's,
Putting a
that's
little
awesome.
like of a Red Hot Chili Peppers spin on it.
A little something like that.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought Russell Crowe was fun. This has ruined my perception of Russell
Oh
Crowe.
no, he hasn't been fun for the whole
He's
time.
kind of because, and then also we did a sketch about him on Silently because he was getting divorced and he had like a sale, like a fire sale of all his shit to try and raise money for the divorce settlement too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he probably wrote a great song about that. But
He was in South Park as a man who can't stop starting brawls,
oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
which could be the
I
fun
do
you were
respect
talking
that,
about.
though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, well, I mean, my favorite person, obviously, from the movie Gladiator is Oliver Reed. who died during the filming of it, such that they had to like CGI him in at the end because they were filming it in Malta, and he challenged a bunch of British sailors on a Navy ship to a drinking contest.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Honestly, he drank like an inhuman amount of alcohol. Like you can find it enumerated on his Wikipedia page, like how many shots of rum and pints or whatever he'd had.
Okay, I'm looking this up.
And then it was like he then collapsed and died of a heart attack while arm wrestling the sailors. And I'm like, honestly, as much as people say that Oliver Reed was an asshole and incredibly difficult to work with, credit where it's due.
Yeah.
What a way to go out!
Because it's like saying
phenomenal.
Real life Popeye.
Yeah.
That's Popeye shit.
It's the
And he was much better spoken than Popeye.
it's the equivalent of like when
A lot of
the
people
band,
are better spoken than Popeye.
Yeah.
It's just a low bar.
It's not. It's a difficult one to clear.
Popeye wouldn't have brought the same gravitas to that role.
What we do in life? Oh,
You got to fight for me. Surely he was the head of the gladiators.
surely it would be what we do in life. Echoes in eternity.
Colosseum, Maximus. You never seen anything like it. I mean, they did love olive oil in the Roman Empire, so
Very nice.
there
Or
we
the
go.
Mediterranean triad, you know?
Remember that story about how
Super
Nick
important.
Cave wrote a sequel to Gladiator? Have you ever heard
Nick
this?
Cave?
Nick Cave wrote
Yes.
Gladiator. Does this ring a bell?
Gladiator.
Yes.
And he goes up to it's like still Russell Crowe's Maximus whatever in heaven, and then he's fighting the gods and shit.
It's like a weird fantasy afterlife
Yeah, like
movie.
supernatural kind of vibe.
And
Well,
the music would have been great. What a great soundtrack to a kind of visibly much heavier Russell Crowe kind of fighting angels,
Killing God.
killing God in that kind of stiff-shouldered way that everyone fights in The Irishman when they've been down-aged by CGI, but they can't down-age how stiff their joints are. So they're all fighting like they've got coat hangers in their clothes still. They've got that kind of Tina Turner shoulders, so they're kind of they're fighting like this, even though they're supposed to be like 21.
Yeah. No,
terrible.
it's just back then, you know, there was really strict rules about not hitting the face.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, not being able to put your arms above your head.
And it's like, you know how like,
in my hair. It was fucking expensive. So
And,
let's
you know,
get
it's
a load
like-
of chin.
no one knew also about like the fighting meta. Like back then, the best meta was just like sort of keep it all on the shoulders and just kind of
Yeah.
wave.
Listen,
The first-
this thing was.
the first member of the mafia to punch a guy in the head was like Oppenheimer. Wow. He punched him in the head and he went to sleep.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Listen, an associate, you can punch him in the head, but a mate guy, you punch him right in the tit. It's a sign of respect.
You gotta give him a swirly.
Well, that's a school mafia.
Are
Free
there
range
any-
school had the mafia.
Are there any Oliver Reed figures out around now?
I tried
or
to
is
be a
that-
bookie in free range school.
You tried to be a bookie.
A bookie. What were you
After the
taking
devil
bets on?
visited you and told you to listen to ska, you became a head of a gambling ring.
I'm
didn't-
dating a girl from the other side. You wouldn't know her, but she's a friend of ours.
She's in French immersion. Tell me, were you ever really in French immersion, or were you just at the principal's office breaking my heart?
The rat in the glass.
But do
And
we-
I do respect people for getting on heroin in the arts. I think more people should do it. I think it produces good art. Like, you know, and I think it shows a commitment to like the old ways of doing things. Like people think making a film on 35mm is like, whoa, this guy's a traditionalist. No, the traditionalist gets on heroin to make the movie.
to be in the movie. To be clear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could apply this to stand-up comedy and have like a really sleepy set.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Really sleepy.
You have a little sleepy set. You could be sort of up there kind of nodding.
What would
Mitch
I feel
Hedberg
like
style, I
Yeah,
guess.
Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
He did-
injecting
he did-
into the foot, I think.
Stand-up
Oh,
comedy
poor
is too
thing.
new. So like the comedians back in the day were all on cocaine.
Hedberg
They
was
still
heroin.
are.
Yeah, that's true.
Honey.
Yeah.
But like more.
But also, I think drinking, even a generation like right before us, was very commonplace.
Yeah.
You'll still be gigging with someone who's like 15 years older than you, and in the green room they'll be on the drinks.
Yeah, there'll be a sort of like 4 pints before even going on.
Mm.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you don't seem to get as much of a reputation with like famous actors. It's no longer
I think this
seen
is
as like
good.
a haha thing.
Having made a number of promises to Ridley Scott prior to filming, including that he would not drink during production, Reed worked around this by only drinking on weekends.
Gotcha.
Yeah, his union rep was very clear about that.
Yeah.
You can't touch him for this. His downtime.
Good Lord.
He wasn't drinking. He had it on an IV drip.
Yeah, getting SAG involved because of your alcoholism.
Gord is actually short for good lord. I'm gonna go.
No, I don't know who are there any are there any big like wreckhead actors now?
Can't think of any. Everyone's very clean cut now, and also
Or
everyone
we
has
don't know. The PR's better.
True, but everyone also has to
Yeah.
be shredded for so many genres now.
You know what was a
Yeah.
huge revelation for me
Yeah.
was that like the shredded celebrity is quite recent. Like Marvel
Yeah.
changed that because like Brad Pitt and George Clooney never had to have abs.
Mm-mm.
And now in order to play like a nerd in a
Yeah.
movie, you need to have abs. It's crazy.
I don't know.
It's-
Brad Pitt did have abs though.
It's
Yeah, but
like,
it wasn't required. George Clooney did
He did
it.
it for the love of the game.
Jack Nicholson or Bruce Willis had
Jack Nicholson should have abs now. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome if, like, Jack Nicholson just everything normal, right? Everything Jack Nicholson.
The
He's
same
like,
kind of like bald head with
he's like-
long hair at the
he's
back
sort
thing
of-
that he's got going on. Yeah.
yeah, he's sort of decrepit. Like
He's courtside watching the LA
LA
whatever.
Lakers,
Yeah,
like
but-
shirtless.
But when they're crop top. Washboard abs.
Yeah, crop top
Yeah.
is funnier. An LA Lakers crop top.
So
I just stopped drinking beer. So just- Everyone just has to go, okay, Jack. Okay, Mr. Nicholson.
There's a rat.
he goes 3 days without beer and
Yeah.
washboard. Who is the funniest person who could have abs? Jack Nicholson,
The
like
king.
yeah. Well, the king.